Hi, my name is Jared Stone, and I am a senior technical curriculum developer here at Jitterbit. Well, let me first thank you for joining me for this micro learning that is a part of our Jitterbit Basics series, where we show you the power and the agility of the Jitterbit Harmony Cloud Studio. Now, in today's micro learning, what I'm going to be showing you is how you can configure your Salesforce bulk query activity. It's really simple, so let's go ahead and dive into that right now. Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you the Salesforce bulk query activity. Now, remember, the Salesforce bulk query activity queries a large number of records from Salesforce or from a Salesforce endpoint, and it's really intended to be used as a source to provide data to an operation. So I'm going to quickly show you how to configure this here in a very simple operation, okay? So I'm going to connect to my Salesforce instance and basically bring over my accounts right here that you see within my Salesforce org. And then I'm going to populate those or move that data over to my FTP. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into this in Cloud Studio. Okay, so over on the right hand side, the connectivity panel there, we can go ahead and click Salesforce Endpoint, and then we can come down and find the bulk query option. We can just click, drag, and drop that over to the canvas, and you see that our operation is basically starting to be built at this point now. Okay, now remember, for this tutorial, I'm just going to quickly show you how to configure the operation. Now, I'm not necessarily showing you how to configure that endpoint, as we've done this in previous Jitterbit Basics modules or videos, so feel free to always go back and check that, but it's a very, very simple process. Okay, so the first thing I might do here is rename this operation. Okay, so anytime that we're naming operations, we always recommend that you use a descriptive and informative naming convention when doing this. Now, that goes for operations, that goes for activities, endpoints, so on and so forth. Because especially if you're working in, I would say actually either a team environment or you are the Jitterbit administrator, it's always helpful to have very good naming convention in place so that you can understand what maybe is going on within that operation or that endpoint or activity. Okay, so maybe we'll just say here bulk query to FTP. All right. So now if I detail into this activity, you can see that the name by default is bulk query. That's fine. You can change that if you wanted to, okay? The object that we want to select and focus on is the account object, okay? So we'll go ahead and select that and then click next. Now we need to select the fields from our account object that we're wanting to, move over in query. So let's go ahead and grab a few of these. We'll start with billing city, billing country, maybe billing postal code, state, street there, maybe the fax. We'll grab the ID and the name. And let's grab one more, the phone. So that should be good, okay? You can see as I'm selecting those fields over on the right-hand side, those are populating, and it's just a good reinforcement as to what I've selected. You can also add conditions or where clauses down below, all right? We'll go ahead and click Finish, though. Okay, and just that simply, we have configured that activity. Okay, so remember we're sending this data over to our FTP. So let's go ahead and find our FTP endpoint on the connectivity panel on the right. We'll click that. We're writing this data. So we'll just click on the right and drag and drop that over to our operation area there. Okay, once again, double clicking again. I'll leave the name as right set there. That's perfectly fine. And then we'll come on down here to our file's name area, and maybe let's just name this something like bulk query output. And then we'll just say something, we'll leverage some variables here. So we'll say date, underscore square bracket, and then maybe time. And we'll just send this as a CSV, so we'll set that as the file extension. Uncheck the use FTP rename, and then click next. Nothing here for the data schema. We'll click finished. Okay, so now that we have finished that, the one thing to keep in mind here is our operation validity. So operations, they must be valid in order to be deployed. So we've got some great documentation on this at Success Central. Be sure to check that information out. But we have to make sure that we're following the correct pattern. In this case, we're just going to finish out this operation build with a simple script on the end. Okay, so I'll come over here to the operation area just to the right of that FTP activity I just configured there. You see the box comes up there, the blank box with the plus icon. I can click the three dots here and then click new script. Okay, and maybe we just call this write to oplog. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is use our write to operation log function. So I'll put that in there and then maybe just say something like operation completed. Okay, so that's what we'll do, and then we'll click the X there. All right, so now let's go ahead and deploy this. You can see that up in the right hand corner there, and that was successful. And then we'll go ahead and run this. All right, you can see right here it's been submitted, and this will update here in just a moment to give us an idea as to the success or the failure of this. You can see now it's running. But to recap, remember, we're just connecting to our Salesforce org, more specifically to the accounts area, and then we're getting those accounts and we're going to write that data over to our FTP endpoint. Okay, and there goes our notification there, success with info. So we can click this to open up our logs. And we can see that we had 30 records come over, which is perfect. We can see that completed successfully, and then our little message there, operation completed. All right, so now we can just jump over here to our FTP, do a quick refresh there, and we can see this bulk query output with the date, time variables there that we leveraged. Okay, and open that up and we can see that data right there. Now, there's going to be times when you want to learn a little more, and that's what we want. So for all of those opportunities, go check out Jitterbit University. You can check that out at university.jitterbit.com. You will need an enrollment key to access Jitterbit University, and to get that, you can just reach out to either your customer success or alliance manager. Well, once again, I want to thank you for joining me for this micro learning. I hope that you have seen the value that Jitterbit can provide you, and really the power and simplicity in which it can be done in. See you next time.